everybody. This is Kenriquez 100, one of the main producers on Kubo's Productions, as well as the Final Fantasy Rebirth series. Now, this is something I wanted to try out for a while now, that I've seen other people do on some of their content, especially episodic content. And, well, that is a commentary track for each of the episodes, which would include looking at certain parts of the episode, detailing what went behind the making of parts of episodes, maybe picking out certain objects or things that one didn't notice the first time that only a creator behind it would actually have knowledge of. You know, just giving an overview of what happened in the episode and what went behind making it. It's something that's interested me for a while now. I wanted to do with the Final Fantasy Rebirth series, so that's what I'm going to do today. And, well, for right now, it's just me. It's just going to be me, Carl, one of the producers of this content. But hopefully in the future, I'll be able to get on some more Final Fantasy Rebirth character casts onto this show. Well, not really a show. Once again, this is commentary. But, yeah, hopefully I can get my brother on, although he's very resilient to the idea. Hopefully I can get Thomas on, the other main producer of the show. And, yeah. I'm just gonna go through the first episode. See you then. Okay, I think we can all agree, regardless of how good the quality of our videos are, we have a pretty good opening title card. And yes, that is my home. We are actually in my house, which I happen to be recording this episode in right now. Also, this opening introduction is taken straight out of the first episode of Yu Yu Hakusho, an anime that just happens to be my favorite anime. And maybe it doesn't quite fit here, but I liked it, and I just needed something to start the series off, so I was like, why not? Also, this call was done with an actual phone app that, you know, does fake calls. We just put in Dino's information in there. It's fake, so if you call that number, you will not call Dino, the character Dino. But actually, in one of the later episodes, Dino actually becomes relevant again. I won't tell you how, but it's a secret. You'll find out. Actually, this is 2, and 2 being my friend, and this is actually his recording, which he did separate from my recording. I had Matthew, the character that's on the bed, well, actually his name is Neku in the series, but I had him record Dino's voice, his friend, and my friend Thomas, the other producer of the show, recorded 2's voice at his house. And it's just funny because we thought it was going to take a lot longer for 2 to get his lines down because he's not exactly the most vocal person in the group, but he did pretty well. I mean, he did his line and that was it. It usually takes a lot longer to get 2 to say something. But, yeah, this is my house. As you can see, my brother walking straight through. I see, like, everything's still just laying out however it should be. There's a table, which I think has my old science project on it. And, yes, this beginning of this episode is very slow. But it picks up, you know, as soon as he gets out the door. And, yes, once again, this is my house. You see my... yeah, my house number and everything there. But hey, I don't think there's a stalker coming out to get me, so yeah. And why this jump cut was done? There was a better walking psycho in another shot, and we didn't feel like doing a completely 100% perfect shot. We just cut 2 together. Yay. And now, abruptly, there's Thomas, the other producer of the show, and there's me, suddenly appearing magically in the sun, so you can barely see my face, which I guess is a good thing. Now, this is a very shoddy start to chasing. I don't even know why that cut was made there. And you can also see 2 and his brother's shadow there videotaping us as we run off down the street. Oh, also, I'm wearing flip-flops. Don't run in flip-flops. It is the most awkward thing in the world. And I love how we're just running alongside this car. They must be very confused what the hell we're doing. Actually, this scene right here is one of my favorite bloopers. And, well, Matthew runs, but in the blooper reel, you can see how he does this strange little kick thing as he's running by the end of it. But yeah, you see how it seems like we're taking a while, and this is probably how we would have actually run with these damn flip-flops on. At least Thomas has actual tennis shoes that he can run in. And yes, we have Matthew running here, and then all of a sudden... Now, you might want to think about this. And yes, I did have him film this like 3 times in 3 different ways, just for added effect. One zoomed in shot. And then this shot where we see him falling down, POV shot. Now, once again, you just heard a bullet, correct? Someone obviously shot him. Did you see any of the 2 people carrying guns? No. Was some other third party involved in this? Who knows? And now you have Matthew reappear. Once again, Neku reappear. Actually, you don't know his name yet, so... Well, of course, if you watch this series, you're probably watching this commentary track knowing that. But yes, he actually appears right next to the house where he started, but it's just at a different angle. This, however, is at Thomas's house, who's also playing the Akatsuki member in this fight. Yes, he's wearing an Akatsuki suit. We just call them the henchmen of the evil dictator of this world, but they're all wearing Akatsuki suits, because we thought, hey, we'll just have Thomas in a bunch of different moments wearing an Akatsuki suit. And here is our first revelation of 2. Yes, 2 is in the real world calling Matt and talking to him, and he's also in this world, which is also kind of relative to later plot points. But we also here have Robin, who will become a character in his own right later in the series. And that episode actually hasn't been uploaded yet, but, you know. You just see, yeah, and their little experience things are taken from their Facebook profile pics, those little pics on there. Yeah, you see 2 walk up to Matt, and now we finally have revealed his name next to a picture I just took randomly of him just to have it there. I forget if we update those later, but we should. And yes, there's a bunch of cars and stuff in this world, and yeah, that's the first episode. I remember I had an argument with Thomas whether we should have credits or not. Not really, like, actually. I was the only reason I started this argument with him is because I didn't like the fact that he had put himself as a director, as when in this first episode, both me, 2, and him did like a good amount of work behind the camera and off the camera. So I was like, wait, why are you putting yourself as a director? But at the end, I was just like, whatever, do what you want. And at least, you know, we have a nice jingle to go with it. I'm not exactly sure what song this is, but we do give thanks to everyone and all of you. And yes, this is, we leave it off at stay tuned for episode 2. When that comes out, I forget how much longer after this comes out that episode 2 comes out, but it wasn't that long compared to like some of the waits we've had in between other episodes. But yeah, that was episode 1, and it was one of my favorite episodes to work on. Well, I wouldn't say my favorite, but of course it was my first, so it has to be one of my favorite. And I should just explain that this first episode was totally like, we never really expected this to become as big a series and go on over the years that it eventually did. This was just kind of like a one-time thing. We were like, let's make an episode of something, it'll be fun. And then we actually kept up with that over a while. And now we're still working on series episodes. Thomas is hard at work, but of course now we're all in college. This was years ago that we started this project, and now we're still trying to complete it. I'm still writing parts for the final episodes, and I always tell Matthew whenever I see these episodes how much he's changed over the years. And you can tell that was almost everyone. Well, I say almost everyone. You can tell changes in me, you can tell changes in 2, especially Robin. You'll see he changes much later in the series. You might not even recognize him from his first appearance here. But Matthew has definitely changed, incredibly so. And I always remind him. He hates that I remind him this every time I watch this episode, which I do watch this episode every now and again. But yeah. If you want to see other content from this episode, you can check out the blooper reel that we made for this. It shows a bunch of other behind-the-scenes things that I'm not explaining. I'm actually explaining them here, but you can go actually watch some of the mistakes and things that we did in the blooper reel. And yeah, that's the commentary for the first episode of Final Fantasy Rebirth. And I hope to see you for the next one. Take care, good luck, yeah.